Alrighty. Thank you for coming. Delighted to be here in front of you. So I'm Rob Kambach. I work for Connect, and I'm basically doing visualization in Connect. I'm covering AI, but that's typically not my piece. That's Lori Warda within our organization, but she's based in Chicago. So whenever there's Connect stuff, I'm the one here. So one thing I wanted to talk about is that the Connect as a whole, of course, you're going to have your data ingestion coming from System Platform or Pi or from other data sources, which could be OPC UA or MQTT or REST API. And all the data goes into what we call data services. So data services is there to contextualize and aggregate the data into the systems. And then on the right side, later on today in the afternoon, I will talk about visualization. That's an hour presentation. Here I only have 10 minutes, so that's very short. So the one in yellow there I'm going to talk about, which is analytics, modeling and analytics, and AI is part of that. So that's the part we're going to show you today with some demos, real quick. And then I don't know if there's another session about AI, but we can discuss it again this afternoon too. But you all know, you saw this from, I think Rashesh had this up as well, 100% class-free designs, optimized quality. But class-free designs, for example, what they mean with that is, if you look at our engineering software, one thing that AVEVA Engineering is known for is piping. So either for refineries or within ships where there are very confined spaces. So they're the market leader in routing of these pipes and making sure that nothing has a collision. So they're using AI for that, to do that type of design, to help the designers find the optimal path of the pipe through the ship. Because a lot of ships, because of the like the environmental regulations, they have to have scrubbers, and when they put a scrubber on a boat, then they need to reroute all the piping and stuff around it, and there's not too much space. Optimized quality, 10%, that's just an example. Optimized quality, 10% material savings, and energy reduction. So why is it rising? Of course, is the data explosion, fast-moving markets, innovation. AI makes it possible to transform that data into real-time, high-quality insights that support smarter decisions. When I did the demos this morning on the Connect, on the station, and I'm sorry that I wasn't there during the break, but Azure itself at this point is down because something was not working this morning. And I was texting the developers. I said, "What's going on?" And they said, "We're not doing anything. We're not deploying anything." And then they saw that a lot of the Azure services are down right now, just like following AWS from last week, I guess. Earlier risk detection, entire opportunities for value creation. It's no longer just about collecting data. It's about putting it to work to deliver business impact. So how driving expertise and innovation in industrial AI, you can see on this timeline the development of AI. And if you compare that, for example, I think for people to get landlines was like 25 years, for people to get internet was like 12 years, for people to get, to do other things, AI, basically in the last 6 months, you got all these different things. ChatGPT had within 3 months, I think, more than 100 million users. So the type of adoption rates of AI is exponentially bigger than anything else we have seen before, right? And we can see that throughout the industry in adoption. There's one difference with how we are using it or having it in our system compared to what's out there in things like ChatGPT or all the other pieces is we're using your data as a strategic asset. Our AI agent is not connected to the internet. And it can only look at your data, not your competitors' data. So it's basically guardrailed in the sense that it can only work with the data that you provide. This morning they were talking about MCP, but one thing you have to realize, if you expose your data to a public AI agent like Claude or ChatGPT, at that point it can use your IP anywhere, right? So you have to be very careful where you put your industrial data, especially sensitive data, and that's why we designed a system that basically integrates into our AVEVA solutions, but is only isolated to the customer's instance. So you can integrate it into our systems, and this is one of these examples, is the industrial AI assistant. So this is part of Connect, and within part of Connect, so you can do natural language interface, so you can ask questions like, what was the best performing turbine yesterday, or what line did have issues last night? It will go through the information and give you answer. You can do context search and summarization. So once you have done an investigation, you can say, summarize all this because I want to copy and paste it to put it into a work order to send to maintenance. Citations show how transparently traceability, and you can generate dashboards and charts inline, but you can also generate trends. So you can say, take all the temperatures from the turbine or take all the vibration monitoring of the gearbox and put them into a trend, and it will put them into a trend. So this is all available, standard, and this is what the interface looks like. It's a slide-in menu on Connect, and that's your chat interface. Like I said already, like if you look at how it works architecturally, you get your chat interface and your visualization. Then in the back end, we run an AI orchestrator and the LLM, of course. And then we basically, this is where you have your information, right? So time series, engineering assets, events, and help, and tools for accessing specific data. So it can only look within these pieces. We are working on giving customers, because some customers has come back to us and said, we got this SharePoint site, if we could also pull in that SharePoint site, all the information that's in there, that would be awesome. So those are things that probably in the future will be done, but that's what we have implemented right now, is it works with all the data present that is in Connect. So engineering data, manuals and stuff like that, time series data, assets and events, and any help that is in the system. Like if you don't know like how to do something in Connect, you can ask it for help, and it can help you accomplishing your task. So this is a small demo of the AI assistant. I think you saw some of that this morning. This what was in one of the demos. Yeah. So in here, for example, on what this demo is showing is an industrial use case, and then we can show AI to interact with training material to basically help people to use software in E3D. So this is a little bit about the routing and stuff like that I talked about in the engineering software, and that's that demo. In hindsight of time, I have 2 minutes, so let me skip over this one, because I don't think there are a lot of E3D users in this room. Deep dive into document ingestion. So this can be any text-based document. So AIM is our point cloud, and our point cloud can handle any documentation, not just AVEVA engineering documentation. If you have a CMMS that can be connected, then basically we can take all that information and put it into AIM, and the point cloud then contextualizes it with the semantic index, and that's how we can then find documents back related to assets. So in this case, this is a document query. So you're basically looking for a certain manual. Let me see, this one didn't play automatically. Yeah, there you go. So you can see in the prompt here that they're asking if there is a maintenance manual for a certain asset, and then it's looking through the system. The quickest thing is also, like, for example, they had an example a while back for these GE turbines. And those manuals can be thousands of pages, of course, OEM equipment. So specifically the question was like to find the right lubricant for the gearbox. And the AI can find that in seconds. And it will take you quite a long time to go through that manual to find that information. So that's, I think, where AI can help us, finding things that are relative faster and more efficiently. And in this case, it's pulling up the manual and then looking for certain pieces of information in there, and it can summarize it. And the neat thing about it is that it's already in text format here, so you can just copy and paste it into an email and send it to somebody. So that's for the documentation. The next one would be, I think this is the document query. Then we talked a little bit about security. Guardrails, clear instructions guide the AI to deliver responses that are transparent and helpful. So we have guardrails in place that it's not doing crazy things or giving you answers that don't make sense. I would say that is also still often a work in progress. When the data is unavailable, the AI acknowledges it, avoiding speculation or fabricated answers. So often with the stuff online, you will see that it will fabricate something, and they talk about hallucination at that point, because it's giving you information, but the information is not right. And then the other part is building logic checks to help maintain response accuracy and quality. So like if you ask 2 or 3 times the same question, it should not give you 2 or 3 different answers. You should have one answer, right? Every answer is traceable to a known source, so you can validate the insight. And the AI works with real data and systems, not assumptions. When facts are missing, it can't give you an answer. Security, the AI follows your existing access controls with no additional setup, and your data is never stored or reused. Each prompt is securely discarded after it's processed. So I don't know if you have been using the other ones on the web. When you log back in with your credentials, you see all the prompts that you have given it. It's retaining those prompts and how it built those answers up. We're not retaining any prompts. Like when you go back to the AI assistant as that user, it's empty. So the prompts are not retained. Generating visualizations. So this is one where instead of me basically creating a chart, I'm asking the system to create a chart. I'm basically saying here like, hey, I want to see from all the bearings the temperatures and the wind speed from G01. So then it's basically coming up with the answers. And it didn't only take one temperature, it actually went in, and this is interesting to point out, it actually went in and said, okay, you asked for a temperature for G01, but if I didn't specify what it was, right? So then basically it's coming back and says, I gave you the external oil temperature, I gave you the bearing box temperature, I gave you the generator temperature, I gave you the tower base. So it comes up with the whole list because you didn't provide specifically what you wanted to see, so it gives you all the temperatures it finds on G01 and puts it in a trend. Really quick because I'm getting signs in the back that I'm over time. And then for the rest, I would say come this afternoon to my session and we'll talk more about Connect and Connect visualization. But this was just a very short 10-minute session about AI. Thank you.